I had my second unmedicated birth about 5 weeks ago, and it was just so amazing and so much better than my first unmedicated birth. So I wanted to make a video and tell you guys about it and hopefully offer some advice to help anybody else that wants to do an unmedicated birth. I thought I was gonna make this a lot sooner. I can't believe it's already been 5 weeks, like fastest 5 weeks in my entire life. But better late than never. It feels like yesterday, but at the same time it feels like a year ago, so bear with me while I try to recall all the details. I've kind of always known that I wanted to do an unmedicated birth. I don't like needles, and I don't know, it just felt like something I wanted to do. I'm more on the natural, holistic side, so I really like the idea of being in tune with my body and just kind of letting my body take charge and do its thing. And I just think it's so cool how the human body works like a perfect machine. And so I kind of just wanted to let my body do its thing. So I had my first unmedicated birth with my son 21 months ago, and then with her 5 weeks ago. And they're completely different. This time was so much better. And honestly, I didn't do a lot of research before either of them. With him, I watched various videos, but I didn't do the research that I kind of planned on doing and hoped doing, you know. I just didn't really have the energy or really care to. I just kind of wanted to wing it. But I do think that watching those YouTube videos helped, so I'm hoping that this is gonna help some people. I'm just gonna go to my birth story now. So I had my 39-week appointment at 11 a.m. on Wednesday morning. And I'd been kind of crampy for several days, so I was really hoping that she would do a cervical sweep, because with my first, I had a cervical sweep and then it put me right in labor. I started cramping immediately, and then later that night I was like, yeah, this is definitely labor, like I'm gonna give birth. So I didn't know she would, because I was just 39 weeks, but she said that she would, and when she checked me, I was 3 centimeters dilated, 70% effaced and soft. So when she told me that, I was like, yes, God bless. I was so relieved, because you know, I've been cramping for days, and when you're pregnant, the last month is honestly really hard. So I was super relieved. I was like, yes, like we're getting things going. This is great news. And I really didn't want to be pregnant another week or 2 weeks. I was 39 weeks. I was over it, but I knew that 39 weeks was pretty early. And I was 39 weeks and 5 days when I gave birth to my son, 39 weeks and 4 days when I went into labor. Anyway, so she's like, yeah, I'll do it. And she said, this might put you into labor, it might not. I feel like since the first time you had good results, that this very well might put you into labor again. And I told her that my mom was gonna be the one that watched my son when I went into labor. And I said that she lived like 5 hours away, and my midwife was like super concerned. She was like, second babies come quick, like, and she asked if my mom would be willing to stay longer if I don't go into labor that night, and I was like, and my mom said that was okay. So she said, call your mom now, tell her to get in the car right away. So after my appointment, I called my mom, and yeah, she got right on the road and headed over. And I'd been cramping, because cervical sweep is going to cause cramping, and so it's kind of hard to know when that cramping turns into labor or if it does at all. So anyway, and I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video, so I was seeing a group of midwives in a hospital. So I gave birth in a hospital, but it was not a regular labor and delivery floor like my first. I just gave birth a regular, what is it, sweetheart? What's wrong? I gave birth on a regular labor and delivery floor, and this time I did a birthing center where I saw a group of midwives. So like, you don't know who you're going to deliver with, it's whoever's on call, which I really didn't like that, but they were all so nice, so it was okay. But I would have preferred if I had the same midwife the entire time. But anyway, so I gave birth at a birthing center in the hospital. So like, if anything were to go wrong, they would just like rush me upstairs and I would be okay. After I had the cervical sweep, you know, I was cramping right away. I was like, this is great. Like, yes, let's do this. And so I was like, I'm gonna be active. I'm gonna like I did it. On one hand, I wanted to rest, but on the other hand, I was like, let's stay active and get things moving. So my son and I went grocery shopping. I like deep cleaned our apartment, and my husband was at work at this point, and so I told him like, I'll let you know if you need to come home, but you can just stay at work. I'll know. I'll know when it's time. I was very active, did my thing. I could tell the cramping was happening, and I felt like it was labor. They were coming regularly. My mom got here about 5 or 6 p.m. and I was pretty sure I was in labor at this point, because they had been coming regularly. My contractions were, I don't know, at least every 20 minutes, I would say, regularly. And then I just went about my normal routine. My mom and I hung out, And last time with my son, I didn't go to sleep that night, so I kind of had that in my head that I wasn't going to go to sleep again. But ultimately, my mom was like, you probably should rest. So we sat in here in the living room, hung out for a little bit. I sat in the recliner chair with the heating pad on my back, which is really soothing. And then eventually around like 10:30, I was like, okay, I'll go to bed. And so went to bed, but like I couldn't sleep because the contractions were still coming regularly. And I wish I knew exactly how often they were coming. I'm trying to remember. I wasn't timing at this point, and I want to say like every 20 minutes, but I feel like it was also sporadic. When I went to bed, I was feeling a little discouraged because I was like, okay, what if this isn't labor? Like, I'm gonna be really upset. But I decided to try to go to bed. I lay there for a long time, and I think I finally fell asleep at 1 o'clock. And then I woke up at 3:30 in the morning, starving. I was so hungry. I was like, I need a bowl of cereal right now. I feel like I'm forgetting so many details. I'm sorry, guys. I have mom brain. You're gonna have to bear with me. And this was 5 weeks ago, so you're gonna have to bear with me. This is kind of all over the place. Anyway, I forgot to mention that around 9 o'clock that night, I did go outside and do a curb walking for like 20 minutes or so. And then I like bounced on a medicine ball for a while too. So I was like decently active, but at this point I was kind of just relaxing in my recliner chair with the heating pad for most of the evening. And then, so I went to sleep around 1 o'clock, woke up at 3:30 starving. And so I got a bowl of cereal and went back to bed and sat in bed eating my cereal. And then I realized I should probably start timing them because they seem to be coming regularly. So I had a contraction timer on my phone, like it was just an app I downloaded. I timed a few and they were 5 minutes apart for a little over a minute and a half each. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is it. So I timed them for an hour, and then they were still 5 minutes apart for an hour. And with my first, I labored at home like a long time. I didn't go to the hospital until my contractions had been every 1 to 3 minutes for like 2 hours. I waited like to the last minute. Anyway, but my midwife kept saying how second babies come quick, like don't wait too long. And so she made me nervous. And so I called the midwife on call at 4:30 that morning. And I told her that they'd been coming every regularly 5 minutes for at least a minute and a half each. And she's like, okay, well, it's up to you if you want to stay at home and labor for a bit, or if you want to come in, like I'll admit you. And I kind of told her that I was feeling a little bit nervous about my second coming a lot quicker. This was a different midwife than the one I had seen that day that was nervous about me like just shooting this baby out really quickly. So I told her, yeah, I feel like I do want to come. We live about 20 minutes away from the hospital. I'll just kind of slowly start making my way there. I woke Jonathan up and I told him, like, let's go to the hospital. It's time. And so he packed up last minute things, and then we came out here to the living room, and my mom had like heard us and woke up too. And so I told my mom, like, we're gonna go to the hospital. It's time. We got in the car, and then I called her again to let her know that we're about 20 minutes away. And so she said, okay, I'll have a nurse meet you there, because the birthing center isn't like open all the time, how the labor and delivery floor is in a hospital. So there's specially trained nurses that work on the L&D floor upstairs in the hospital that can do like the natural birth, and they know how to help. So they're specially trained for the birthing center. So like they'll have a nurse come down, or like depending on how many patients there are in labor, we'll have multiple nurses come down. But anyway, so Jonathan and I went to the hospital, and when I walked in the hospital, so Jonathan was parking the car. We didn't do the valet. He just went to park the car. He dropped me off. And I went inside, and instantly there was this crazy altercation. These two guys were like yelling and screaming at each other. So I walked in, heard them like yelling and screaming at each other, freaking out. I walked right back out. I was like, I'm not doing this. It's 5 in the morning. I'm super pregnant. And like, it seemed like things could get bad. They were really, really angry at each other. And so I just walked outside and kind of just waited for Jonathan, just paced back and forth and waited for Jonathan to park the car in the parking garage, because I was like, I'm not doing this. Anyway, and then we walked to the birthing center, and I'm still contracting, still every 5 minutes apart. They hadn't gotten any closer together at this point. And so when I got there, I talked to the midwife and the nurse, and they let me choose a room. They only had like 5 different rooms, because there's not that, they don't really have that many patients at a time. And so I chose the room I wanted, and I think it was summer. Yeah, I think I chose, all the rooms are seasons. I think I chose the summer room. And the nurse started drawing the bath for me, and the midwife checked me and I was 5 centimeters dilated. I'm not sure about effacement. So I got in the bath. They had these beautiful birthing tubs. I was so excited for that. I want to say this was my dream birth, but I feel like my dream birth would have been giving birth in a tub. But in the state I'm in, it's not legal in a hospital to give birth in a tub, sadly. I would have loved that, but this really was basically my dream birth. I don't want to complain, but I really wish I could have given birth in the tub. Anyway, because you naturally dilate in water, so people say it really helps. Being in the tub is so soothing. With my first, I was in the bathtub for a long time laboring, and I did not want to get out of the tub. That's why I waited till the last minute to go to the hospital. I did not want to get out of the tub. So this time I was like, I'm gonna labor in the tub as long as I can. And they said that I could just either drain the water and give birth in the tub with no water in it, or just like stumble over to the bed and give birth in there. So I labored in the tub, and the nurse was so sweet. She set up like these fake candles, and the lights were dimmed, and there's this beautiful like bubble wall with colors, and she asked what kind of essential oils I wanted and set up a diffuser. And then I had the Bridgerton soundtrack going because I love the Bridgerton soundtrack. It's like my safe place when I play it. Just labored in the tub for a while, and I think it'd been like an hour or so, and I told the nurse and the midwife, like, I'm feeling a little discouraged. They haven't gotten closer together at all. They're still every 5 minutes apart, and they hadn't monitored me at all. Yeah, not once. They didn't hook me up to a monitor at all. They don't do that there. Like in the normal labor delivery floor, hooked up to the contraction monitor the whole time. This, I don't even know if they had a contraction monitor. They just used the Doppler to listen to the baby's heartbeat every so often. I think every half an hour they did. Even when I was in the tub, they just stuck the Doppler in the water and listened to her heartbeat. Anyway, I was feeling a little discouraged, and then, let me think. I think around 7:30, so we've been there like 2.5 hours. We ordered breakfast, or we ate at 7:30, and so sat in the bed, had like a huge breakfast feast. It was so good and very much needed. I was starving because when you're in labor, it's a lot of work. And then I got back in the tub, and I think it was around 8 o'clock or probably 8:30, and the midwife was like, well, because I said I haven't progressed, like I'm feeling kind of discouraged, I'm still 5 minutes apart, I don't feel like they've gotten more intense, and my contractions were definitely doable. Like, yeah, they hurt, but it was, at this point, they were definitely doable. They were on the 0 to 10 pain scale, maybe a 4. So like, yeah, painful, but doable. And I kind of knew that, like, because with my first, I knew that up until 8, I'm good. But transition, it's called, when you're going 8 to 10, that's hell on earth. 8 to 10 is really painful. And then pushing, that's when the real pain starts. Like, pushing is excruciating. Pushing is like, your transition from 8 to 10 is like a 9 or a 10 on the pain scale, and then pushing is like an 11 out of 10. It's a lot. Anyway, so my midwife was like, well, like, it's up to you. If you want to go home, you can go home and labor at home and come back. And as soon as she mentioned home, I was so discouraged. I was like, I do not want to go home. And she was so sweet. She wasn't making me go home, because I was worried that they were going to make me go home. But she was like, it's up to you, like, whatever you think. And I was like, I want to stay here. I don't want to accidentally give birth in the car. I want to stay here. She was like, okay, like, we'll just see how things go. And then a little bit later, the nurse was talking to me, and she said, like, you have a couple of options now. Like, if you want to go home, you can go home. I think this was at 9 o'clock. She's like, if you want to go home, you can go home. Or maybe we can break your water. We can do some nipple stimulation where they'd let me, like, they hook me up to pump. Because when you pump, when you breastfeed, you release oxytocin, which is what gets your contractions going. Is it clary sage essential oil? I think she said that we could use some of that, because I guess that helps put you in labor. So she said, like, you can walk, try some different positions, break your water, do the clary sage essential oil, or nipple stimulation. And I was like, I was leaning towards having the midwife break my water, but I was also very nervous. 1, for the pain, and 2, because if you get your water broken and you don't give birth within 24 hours, then they said that they would have to send me upstairs for close monitoring, and that's when you have to worry about C-section, or I think she said that they would start by inducing me with Pitocin at 24 hours, which I really didn't think I was going to be in labor for another 24 hours if they broke my water, but it was a possibility, and I just didn't like that risk, and I did not want to go upstairs to the labor and delivery unit because I just really did not like my experience on the L&D floor with my son. So I was nervous, but I was like, well, let me think about it for a little bit. And then I think around 9:30, I was like, yeah, I was still in the tub at this point, laboring in there, still hadn't progressed, still 5 minutes apart, haven't gotten worse, contractions still lasting about a minute and a half each. I was like, yeah, like, tell the midwife I do want my water broken. And she came in the room and she had me go in the bed. And I told her, I'm really nervous. Like, I'm scared it's gonna hurt. I'm scared it's not gonna put me into labor. And she said that generally breaking the water does send you to labor. Like, she's not gonna promise anything, but like she said that she had good experience with it herself, and she usually sees good results with it. I was like, okay, let's just do it. And it didn't hurt at all, did it? No. It's like a long plastic hook, like a sewing needle, or no, like a crochet needle. I think it was like this long, and it's plastic. And I guess it was a little uncomfortable because she was having a really hard time breaking my water. She said that I had a really tough membrane sac. So she was having trouble popping the sac because she said it was really, really tough, and I could feel it. Like, I could feel it, like, trying to grip it and like pull it. Oh, did not like that. But anyway, so I was laying in the bed and she broke my water, and you know, I felt it go everywhere and felt the pop and all that. And she said, okay, like, I want you being a lot more active now. Like, if you feel like you need to rest, like, yeah, you can get back in the tub, you can rest, but I do think that you should be more active. And I was like, okay, like, I'll try to walk around. She was like, well, it's really nice outside if you want to go on a walk. And I didn't really want to, but I was like, okay, that would probably help me. And she said they would get more intense after my water broke, and there'd be more pressure. And instantly I could feel a difference. Instantly I did feel more pressure, like I was being pulled down. So I got dressed, and then Jonathan and I went outside, and instantly the contractions were coming so much quicker, like a minute or 1 to 2 minutes apart rather than 5 minutes apart. And I was like, wow, like, I think this is happening. I think that really, really put me in. And then I got really scared. I was like, okay, it's happening. And I remember how bad the transition from 8 to 10 was, and pushing. And up until this point, like, yeah, I was scared to give birth, but I wasn't petrified. But at this point, I was getting really scared. And I told my midwife, like, I'm scared for all of it. Getting my water broken, labor, birth, after birth, I was getting really scared. And so the contractions were very intense and strong. And I think we were outside. So she broke my water at 9:45, and we walked around outside, I think like 10 minutes. The contractions were coming. It felt good to walk through them, and I didn't realize it, but at this point I was in transition, which is like mind-blowing to me that I was able to walk, because when I was in transition with my first birth, I just remember sitting in the hospital bed like this on the side of the bed, not moving a muscle. I like completely shut down. I was like a turtle inside my body. I like closed down and shrunk inside of myself. Like, I did not move, I did not talk. I just like sat there like this, gripping the side of the bed for the transition. And then eventually I was making like the animalistic breathing sounds, labor sounds, you know, what is the word? All I can think of is primal, very primal, like kind of like growling, like, no, not like that. I don't really want to make the noise for you guys. Sorry. If you know, you know. Anyway, and so they were intense. I'm all over the place. Where was I? Okay. Jonathan and I are walking outside. They're coming quick. The contractions are happening every 1 to 2 minutes, and they hurt. I have tears streaming down my face. And then towards the last couple minutes of the walk, I was like, Jonathan, I don't know if I need to hold on to you. And so he was holding me onto me, and we were walking very slowly. And I told him, I don't know if I can make it back inside. This is bad. I said, I need the tub now. And so very slowly we're making our way back inside. I have tears streaming down my face, and there's so many people around. They're probably terrified because I'm this huge pregnant girl walking around outside, probably looking like I'm in labor. I'm pretty sure I looked like I was about to pop this baby out, and multiple employees and just like bystanders were sitting out there in the courtyard and inside too. And I noticed them looking at me, and you know, I have so tears streaming down my face. I'm like gripping Jonathan, like scrunching my face, and I was trying to breathe. I was trying to remember to breathe through it, and I was doing a really good job, so much better than the first time when I shrunk inside my body. And so we slowly made our way back inside, and I told Jonathan, like, tub now, I need it. So he started the water, and I got in right away, and they hurt so bad. And I told my midwife as we were walking past where she was sitting with the nurse at their desk, that, okay, I thought I heard my son wake up for a second. He just went down to nap, so I'd be upset if he woke up already. And I told my midwife, like, yeah, it worked. I just had like 6 contractions in the last 10 minutes and they're intense. And she was like, great, like that's awesome. And then I was like, I'm going in the tub. I need the tub now. And she's like, yeah, that's okay. And so Jonathan drew me the bath, and I got right in the tub. And then a couple of minutes later, the nurse came in, and she was like, yeah, like I can tell, like you're in a lot more pain now. And then, you know, she listened to the baby, and she was like, yeah, like I can tell. And I told her, I was like, I feel like I need to poop. And you know what that means. If you know, you know, that means it's time to push, baby's coming. She's okay, like, great, let me get the midwife. And then she's like, do you want to stay in the tub for a few more minutes? And I was like, if I don't get out now, like I'm not gonna make it. And so I think I labored in the tub between my walk and giving birth. I think I labored in the tub for like, I'll have to check my timeline, but I think 5 to 10 minutes I was in there. And then I was like, if I don't get out now, I won't be able to get out. So Jonathan helped me out and dried me off. I just stood there and Jonathan dried me off. And then I like somehow made my way across the room into the bed. I feel like I just like flopped in the bed. It was so hard to get over there. And I just let my body do its thing. I didn't really know exactly what position I was gonna birth in. I know I did not want to do my back. I did my back with my first, and your back is the worst place to be because your tailbone can't move out of the way. And so like your pelvis is meant to open up. So like ideally when you're giving birth, you want your knees together and your feet out to the side so that your tailbone can really open up. And laying on your back, that's like the highest risk of tearing. But then if you're like standing or squatting, the baby could come too fast and you can tear. So you kind of want to be in like a happy medium. Anyway, I just like, my body was taking charge. I was not really in control, really. I just wanted to be comfortable, so my body was most comfortable laying on its side. So I like flopped in the bed, I'm laying on my side, I'm gripping the pillows, and this is when the primal noises started. And I yelled out that like, I'm pushing. The nurse was like, okay, great. And then the midwife came in, and then the baby nurse came in, and then I think one other person, I think there was 4 healthcare workers. I think maybe it was a student. So I think there's 4 of them and then Jonathan. And so, you know, I'm laying sideways in the bed. It was this wonderful, I think it was a full or queen size bed. It was so comfy, so cozy. And so I'm laying on my side, I'm gripping the pillows, making my primal noises. And for a minute there, I was starting to shrink back in my head, in my body, starting to get in my head, being like, I can't do this. And I even yelled out, I think twice I yelled out, can I do it? And they like, it makes me want to cry thinking about it. My midwife and the nurses, Jonathan, like, yes, like you're doing it, like you can do it. They were so nice. I wish I could have I wish I had a video of it. I really wish I had a video of it, honestly. It was so beautiful. And they were so encouraging. They were like, yes, you can do it. And when I gave birth to my toddler, they were so mean to me. It was right at shift change, and obviously they weren't happy about that. And maybe they don't see many natural births or unmedicated births because they seemed like pissed that I didn't get an epidural. I think they were mad about my yelling, and you know, I told them like I didn't want to lay on my back, and they said I had to. And then I remember with my first, I was like, I don't want to push. Can I just let my body naturally push? Which, I mean, it is a thing. Your body will push for you. But they were like, no. And I told them I didn't want to push. It hurts. Like, you know, normal things that people probably say in labor all the time. And I've seen people say that in labor. And they're like, well, you got no choice now. They were so mean. But anyway, back to her birth. they were like, yes, like you can do it. And so I think twice I yelled out, can I do it? And I needed that. And then I was like, and then something clicked in my head and I was like, okay, I'm in my head right now. I need to give it to God. And so I instantly am praying and I'm starting to breathe and work with my grunting primal sounds, like, no, that's not the sound. I wish Jonathan was in here because he would make the sound for you that I made. Sometimes I ask Jonathan to make the sound that I made when I was giving birth to our kids because I think it's hilarious. It's just so interesting. I kind of just pushed as my body pushed, and then I like took a break, and then midwife's like, okay, like give it another big push again. This is kind of cloudy for me because, you know, I was pushing, I don't remember it exactly, but I remember her saying like, there's the head, like if we can see the head, give it one big push. And so I gave it a couple big pushes, and it's really hard to want to push when you're in excruciating pain because you're in the ring of fire. You don't want to make it worse, you don't want to push more. And I thought I heard my son again. That was outside. I gave it those 2 big pushes and I felt the head pop out. And let me just say, that's like the most satisfying feeling ever when the baby's head pops out, because that's the hard part. Their body, which is kind of weird, it's like their body is bigger, but maybe it's because it's squishier. Their body is easier to push out. So then after I felt the head, I was like, I can do this. And I remember hearing the midwife say, okay, who's gonna catch her? and I guess Jonathan did. And anyway, so then I gave it one more push and I just felt her body slip out, and I guess Jonathan caught her, which is so cool. And then I think they helped him like plop her on my chest instantly. Instantly they put her on my chest, and I just remember crying and looking at her and being like, I can't believe, like, I was so happy. I was like, she's here. It's over. I was so happy. I was like, it's over. Like, she's here. I was so happy. And I'm like trying to look down at her. It was so special. And your baby popping out is like actually the best feeling in the world. Like once the head is out, it's like you're done. It feels like you're done. And so it was so sweet. And I feel like after I gave birth the first time, it was kind of like more chaotic with like the nurses and everyone doing stuff this time. It was so calm. My midwife, I think she was sitting in bed with me the entire time I was pushing, which I pushed for about 10 minutes, right? 10 to 15 minutes. I think it was more like 10 though, because I gave birth at 10:15. So it's actually crazy how water broke 9:45, baby on my chest 10:15. That's insane. And I went on a walk and labored in the tub between that. That's insane. The average time for pushing with your first is 2 hours. Some people push like 5 hours. I think I pushed like 30 to 45 minutes with him. So with her, 10 minutes is very quick. And everybody's different, but that's pretty freaking quick. And then as soon as she was on my chest, I just felt like we were like all celebrating. It was so wholesome. It just felt like a celebration. Like there was just like lightness in the air, and everyone was like talking nicely and just like joyful, and there was no rush to like, they were not worried about her at all. I mean, they were very nonchalant, chill. I think she cried. Did she cry after a few seconds maybe? Maybe she's on my chest. I don't know. They were not worried at all. Besides, I think they put a hat on her right away to help with keeping her heat, like keeping the heat in her body. And because if the baby gets cold, then their blood sugar drops and it's a whole thing. But anyway, I think they just put a hat on her and maybe covered me up. And then I just feel like we're all sitting there like celebrating. After a little bit, she's like, okay, I'm gonna have to deliver the placenta. And I remember telling her I'm scared. And she's like, why? Like, you did the hard part. Like, this is not going to be so bad. Like, you can do it. She was so sweet. And I was like, I don't know. I'm just scared. Like, I feel like I don't want to push anymore. And she's like, okay, well, we can take it slow. Just like give some little pushes, like whatever you feel comfortable with. Like, you've got this. And so it is a little cloudy. I don't remember exactly, because, you know, I have my new baby on my chest. But I remember maybe just like a few pushes, maybe a couple of minutes, and the placenta coming out is pretty satisfying. It's almost like soothing. after a baby comes out, the placenta is just like slippery and warm, and it's almost kind of soothing, and it's just a weird, really weird feeling. Anyway, but like after you push out a baby, you don't want to push anymore. So I did not want to push out the placenta, and I remember thinking that it took longer than I thought it would to push it out. It was probably just a few minutes, but it definitely felt like it took longer, and I probably wasn't giving it the best pushes because I didn't want to. But I remember her telling me to give it a big push, and then it came out. And I did delayed cord clamping because that's just the norm at this birthing center. I mean, I didn't even have to ask or say anything. That's just how they do it. So she would have been still connected to the placenta, and the midwife showed me the placenta, and she's like, here's the tree of life. The placenta is so cool. If you Google a picture of placenta tree of life, make sure it's a nice looking placenta, not like a what do you call it when it's dying? Like, would you say cirrhosis? I don't know, some placentas when they're like old, they get dried out and icky. But so look at a picture of a nice nice placenta. I think at this point she had Jonathan cut the cord, and then she's okay, like, I'm gonna have to check to see if you tore. And I was like, do you have to? I was like, I told her again, I was so scared. And she was so nice, and she said, it's okay, I'm gonna be so gentle, like, I'll tell you before I touch. And I told her, okay, just last time I needed stitches, I had a 2nd degree tear, and I felt like the person who delivered my baby was not gentle at all. You get local anesthesia when they stitch you up, and the shots hurt so bad for them to do that, and the stitching hurt. It all just hurt so bad, and she was not gentle at all. And so I just told her, like, it hurt last time, so I'm really scared. And she's like, I'll be gentle. Like, she was so sweet and considerate. And she's like, okay, like, I'm gonna touch your thigh now, and okay, now I'm gonna touch. Like, she walked me through it all. She was so sweet. And she was like, okay, there is a little tear. And I remember going, no. And she's like, but it doesn't need stitches. And I was like, ah. Oh. And I remember the nurses just like laughing, and her laughing because I was like, no. And I was like, oh, like, thank God. And so she's like, you just have a small tear. And I said, is it a 1st degree tear? She said, no, it's not even any degree. And I was like, yes. Yeah, I don't even remember where she said it was, but it wasn't even a degree, so I'm not worried about it. And then after that, they had to massage my fundus. Every 15 minutes for the first 2 hours after you give birth, they have to massage your stomach to help your uterus contract. So that's not pleasant. If you've had that done before, you know you don't want that. You don't want touched. It hurts, and the afterbirth contractions hurt. And so she massaged my fundus, and then I feel like everyone was like, okay, like, we're gonna give you some time to bond. We'll come back and like, the nurse told me she could come back in half an hour to massage my fundus, and then they were like, and then after that we'll check in the baby after like an hour. And so it was great. Everyone left the room, and it was just Jonathan, Aurora, and I, and we were just like bonding and cuddling. Jonathan was in bed with me, so the 3 of us were just cuddling in bed and just enjoying our newborn. And then when the nurse came in after the hour mark, then a couple nurses came in, the baby nurse and then my nurse and then a student, and then at the hour mark, the baby nurse came in, and then my nurse and a student, and they did checks on her, you know, all the newborn checks. They had a toe assessment on her, and like got her weight and all of that. And then the nurse told me, like, we usually move you upstairs, which I didn't know this part. I thought I was gonna get to recover there at the birthing center, so I was really sad when they said this. But they said that after 2 hours, or after like at least 2 hours, they send you upstairs to postpartum. So she said that if you want to like shower and then order lunch, and we'll try to get you upstairs. I think she said like noon. We'll get you upstairs to postpartum. What was I gonna say? Oh, I nursed her like instantly. It was literally the coolest thing ever. I feel like a few minutes after she was plopped on my chest, she was literally like crawling, like she was scooting up towards my boob and found my boob and like latched herself. It was the wildest thing. And I've actually seen videos on this before of a baby being like kind of set like way down here, like as soon as the baby is born, and the baby like crawls up to the boob. So amazing, like nature's amazing, God's amazing. That was so cool. And I thought that breastfeeding was like effortless with my first. With her, it was like way more effortless. She had the strongest latch ever. It took her like a second to latch. And that was just amazing. That was so cool. I think around like maybe 11:15, 11:30. Then I was like, if you want to take a shower, like that might feel good. And I was like, oh, like I do not want to take a shower, but I knew that it probably would feel good. I would feel a lot more clean and I would feel better taking a shower. And they told me that I lost double the amount of blood, like literally twice as much as what people would normally lose. I don't know why, but as soon as I got out of bed, I felt it. And I felt the same way after I gave birth with my first. It's this weird feeling like you can't stand up all the way. Like you're super hunched over and like, I mean, just walking to the bathroom, super out of breath because I'm like severely anemic now. And, but like, it's a weird feeling that you just can't stand up all the way. You just don't have the energy. So I remember being hunched over and like your stomach just feels so cool. With my first, I was scared to touch my body at all for a while. But this time, like right away, I was touching my stomach and it's just like all your organs are like out. Like your stomach is so soft and squishy. And so then I took a shower. It was hard. I was super out of breath and it was so exhausting. After a bit, the nurse wheeled us upstairs to postpartum and we ordered lunch. It was a little afternoon and feasted. Of course, just gave birth and I was starving. So I love the hospital food. You can get so much food. You get an entree, you get 2 sides, you get like 2 drinks, 2 desserts. You get so much food. Anyway, and then, so actually, I forgot to mention this, but I had a birthing class scheduled for that night. So I gave birth Thursday morning. That night at 5 p.m., 9 p.m., we had a birthing class scheduled, Jonathan and I did. And it's actually mandatory at the birthing center that I gave birth with that you have to do it. If it's your first unmedicated birth, it's like a whole weekend. You have to do, I think it's like 2 days back to back of but because I had already given birth once unmedicated, we just had to do like a 4-hour refresher course. But it's okay. But it turned out that I was signed up for the wrong class, so then I had to re-sign up, and this was the only one that we could do with our schedule. So I was nervous, like doing this class like a week before I was due, but it was all we could do. So sadly I didn't get to do the class, which I was really excited for the birthing class because I thought it'd be really nice to prepare this time and like the last time. But anyway, if you had done the birthing class, you can leave the hospital after 4 hours, which seems like insane and dangerous, but the birthing center is super chill and nonchalant. But because I hadn't done it, I had to stay 24 hours. And when my midwife said that, because she was hoping that I would be able to go home, she's like, sorry, like, I asked the boss and you have to stay 24 hours. And that was really discouraging. John and I had actually never spent a night away from Ezra. Like there'd been times where it was like just me or just Jonathan, but he had never been without us before. So we were really nervous to be away from Ezra. I didn't know how Ezra would take it. That's our toddler. I didn't know how it would go. But turns out he had so much fun with my mom that like he didn't even like notice we were gone. Like he didn't ask about us once. He just played with my mom the entire time and it was fine. But I was really nervous to be away from him because he had never slept with anyone else. Like nobody else had ever put him to sleep. And we had the same routine every single night. So I didn't know how it would go. But it was totally fine. That first night in the hospital with the baby, if you've experienced that, it is so magical. It's just so quiet and it's just like you and your baby, and you don't really sleep, so you're just getting the most amazing bonding time with your baby. And yeah, the nurses come in a lot throughout the night, but I liked it. They were checking on me. It was so sweet, and the nurses I had were amazing. Every single nurse was amazing. I really lost faith after my first. I had such a bad experience with, and I felt like so uncared for, but I really lucked out with the most amazing nurses. And my midwife. I actually have my 6-week checkup a little bit early. I have it in a couple of days, and I'm so excited to see my midwife again. And I'm gonna write her like the most beautiful card because she just made it the most beautiful, amazing experience that I could have ever asked. She was so sweet, so caring, so considerate, so gentle. She like just basically like let me do my thing. She just listened to me and she was just great. I loved her. So this birth felt so good. Being able to do my own thing, work with my body, laboring in the tub felt so good. And this time I feel like it made the biggest difference walking while I was in labor. I really feel like it made the biggest difference walking through my transition. Because transition is hard, but sitting there in bed, shutting down inside yourself, like really feeling the pain with no distraction was a lot harder. This time, at least I was outside, I was walking, I just kept moving. That made it a lot better. I remember my mom would always say walk throughout labor, but yeah, that was really good advice. My first, I walked like in the beginning, but I didn't walk towards the end, and I feel like that made the biggest difference. I'm one of 7 kids, so I should have really listened to that part, but that made the biggest difference. If you're thinking about doing an unmedicated birth, I really suggest looking into a birthing center, and ideally a birthing center in the hospital in case anything goes wrong, especially if it's your first, because you don't really know with your first how things are gonna go. But so ideally if you could be in the hospital just in case, that would be great. So all in all, my transition and pushing her out, that was like half an hour, like I said. So it was really half an hour of excruciating pain, and that's it. I don't like needles. I'm not a fan of epidurals or side effects, or the possible side effects of them. And I've also seen multiple epidurals be put in, and so I feel like that was also a huge turn off. So it wasn't for me. I'm very glad for my decision, but however your baby needs to get here, that's what's important. Like, everybody's body is so much different. Like, I've seen women who they were so uptight and like besides themselves with pain that they couldn't relax enough in order to dilate and to get labor progressing. But then as soon as they got the epidural, like their body progressed because they had relaxed and calmed down. So everyone's different. You do what you gotta do. As long as your baby makes it here safe, that's the important part. But if you are thinking about going unmedicated and you're scared, if you're religious, give the pain up to God and talk to him throughout it. That really helped me, praying to God throughout it, and also breathing and just trying to be in tune with my body rather than shutting down and like going into like a turtle inside of a shell inside of myself. I feel like this birth really made up for my first birth experience because it was just so beautiful and wholesome and sweet, and I just felt so good and cared for and encouraged and loved. And it was amazing. And I was feeling a little embarrassed afterwards, right after I pushed her out, like a couple minutes after. I was like, I'm sorry guys, that I was loud. And because those primal noises, they were loud. And they were like, no, like that was amazing. And I've said that in her 24 years of being a midwife, that was one of the most beautiful births she'd ever seen. And that was so touching. I really wish I had a video of it just to look back on forever. You might think that's weird if you're not into births, but I love watching births. I've seen a lot of births, and everyone is unique, and they're just all so beautiful. So I would love to be able to watch it again. This time around, postpartum has been a lot harder than the first time. I forgot to mention like recovery. So with my first, I think I was rotating ibuprofen and Tylenol, which now that I think about it, I kind of wish I didn't, because neither of those are really good for you or the baby, because I was breastfeeding, but it's what they recommended. So I was doing that. I was rotating at least the first week or maybe 2 weeks. And so this time I didn't want to do medication. I think I did do my ibuprofen for the first 24 hours because I was really nervous about the afterbirth pain. So I did ibuprofen the first 24 hours. But then after that I was like, no, like I don't want to do anymore. And so I was very sore. I think the first time because I was taking ibuprofen and Tylenol, I didn't know how sore I was. But this time, like my legs, my hips, my pelvis, my entire body, like it was like I did the craziest workout, which giving birth is a workout. So I was very sore, and my uterus contracting all the time, like whenever I breastfed, and just pretty much all the time. That was painful for maybe the first like 5 days or so. I think, so the first like 10-ish days, maybe the first 2 weeks, my body was very sore and I was contracting and it was painful, but like not that bad. Like not horrible, just not comfortable. But being sore, that was probably the hardest part. And then being so like worn out, like I think just from being anemic, from losing so much blood, that was hard. But now I'm starting to feel like myself. not so much emotionally. That's been hard this time around, but it's only been 5 weeks, and it takes 2 years for your hormones to go back to normal after having a baby. And some people say your body doesn't go back to normal until 7 years after having a baby, so that's expected. But all in all, this was an amazing experience. I hope this was encouraging for yourself. If you're pregnant right now, good luck. You've got this. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Try not to shut down, but to breathe and move and work with your body. If you're religious, pray to God, and just try to be in tune with your body instead of shutting down and getting in your head, because that's the hardest part. When you're in your head saying, I can't do this, like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, it makes it way harder. You've got, hey, you're thinking about waking up. Do you want to wake up? It's okay if you want to wake up. It makes it a lot harder when you're in your head telling yourself you can't do it. So try to encourage yourself in the moment. Try to remember that. Every contraction is getting you closer to meeting your baby. Every step of the way you're getting there. Your body was made for this. You can do it. Pain is temporary. Pain doesn't last. Hey, sis. Hey. What is it? But thanks for listening. I hope that this helps you in some way. Or if you just really like birth stories and you just listen because you're curious and birth is as fascinating to you as it is to me, then I hope you enjoyed.